Dosto Gandhi bhai, we have big news. India has recently got upgraded in the global class, and it is not in cricket, definitely not in sports or Olympics. It's not also about happiness index or ease of doing business, but it's about our report card, a different report card. It's our about economic report card, and that has
Okay.
got a shine up. S&P Global, this is the headlines which has been going around the news. S&P Global has finally moved India from a rating which is triple B minus to triple B. Just one upgrade. अभी कोई anyone will say कि भाई upgrade भी मतलब what are you celebrating? It sounds like triple B minus to triple B. You're nowhere close to a letter which is called A. What's your thought, Gandhi bhai?
No, so obviously, for a person who are listening this, say it might mean very modest upgrade, triple B say B, but just to put things in perspective, we got this upgrade after 18 long years.
Bhai,
Okay, so we had
insane.
to wait for 18 years to get this upgrade. And while it seems modest, there are very big and very important implications for the country.
Okay.
So important to hai, for sure.
Perfect. 18 years back, मतलब it was close to 2007. At that
Yes.
point of time, we were like using Orkut. Facebook had just come, and today ये सब भी चला गया, and like the world has changed so much, and there is like, and definitely what by world has changed so much, I mean India has changed so much as a country, as an economy, and yet if there is no upgrade, so I think in this episode of Pulse of Progress, episode number 6, correct, we will try to show what is this exactly. We'll try to decode the meaning of this.
The idea is to talk about the S&P upgrade and what we want to understand ki credit rate, what is S&P? So what are these credit rating agencies and why is this upgrade very important for India? Why such a hype, if there's any hype around it? And after this upgrade, what are the implications? What are the limitations of the S&P in general and everything around this?
Perfect. तो मजा आने वाला है भाई. तो what we'll do is we'll firstly try to explain what are these agencies, right? So there are basically three agencies, major three agencies. There are a lot of agencies, but these three agencies have a lot of power, they have a lot of influence. These are S&P, Fitch, and Moody's. And all three of them have their own scales in terms of rating, and they rate a lot of things, correct? They rate countries, they rate states and provinces, they even rate organizations about their credit worthiness. Basically,
and companies.
Companies also in credit worthiness.
So if we want to try and explain ki S&P, yeah, any credit agency, what it is. So simple bhasha mein, they are world's economic teachers.
Okay.
And what they do is they will put a report card for let's say any country or any corporate or anybody, and the report card will be in effect how the country is in terms of the safety of giving the loan, which means if the rating is good or great, the chances of default on that loan is minimal.
मतलब उधार देना या नहीं देना ये कंट्री को, वो ये रेटिंग से आइडिया मिल सकता है.
Correct, absolutely. And usually in such cases it is not white and black. ऐसा नहीं है कि देना है कि नहीं देना. अगर देना होगा basis that scale of rating, we will know कि how risky that country is.
Correct.
Okay, which means जैसे equity में अगर हम blue chip firms या blue chip companies देंगे, we know large cap companies are slightly safer in terms of risk as compared to small cap companies. But small cap का because risk is ज़्यादा, we expect a higher return on it. Right? So similarly, यहाँ पे if the risk is ज़्यादा for a country, in terms of premium, they give a higher interest rate.
Perfect. So as you can see on the screen, these are the different rating scales that these three agencies follow. Very confusing. We don't know why they are doing this, but ठीक है. Each one wants their own. तो कल को I think Gandhi, if you and me become famous, we will have our own Glocal Gyan rating scale, which will be relatively easier. But as we go, as we can see, in case of S&P, the topmost rating is AAA, followed by a AA plus, AA minus, A plus, A minus, triple B plus, triple B minus. इसके नीचे भी होता है, but
these are the investment.
These are the grades. So many grades I mentioned. These are the grades in which a country is considered worth giving money, or investment grade. Below triple B minus, double B plus, double B minus, B plus, B minus. उसके बाद you will go to like these are already not so good grades, but we have even worse grades. You can go to triple C plus, triple C minus. उसके बाद क्या है गांधी? CC.
I think CC है, there is no
CC.
plus minus, and it goes till D.
D मतलब भूल ही जाओ, मतलब ये कंट्री एग्जिस्ट ही क्यों कर रहा है, कुछ है नहीं ये कंट्री के अंदर.
There is a scale which is BB minus से लेके ऊपर तक, countries can be given loans without any reason for default.
Correct.
Which is the investment grade. उसके बाद the chances or probability of default is there. There will be say 5%, 10%, but there will be chances of default. यहाँ पे all the global pension funds, hedge funds, etc., they will operate on the scale of the rating, which means अगर BBB minus से लेके above होगा, only then they will invest. Okay, and even there, all different hedge funds and pension funds have a criteria that they set. Let's say if I own a hedge fund and my criteria is, let's say, investing in BBB to AAA rating countries, then India earlier would not have featured. But now, because India has seen an upgrade to BBB, now India is now open to opportunities of flows from these investment funds as well.
ये होने से basically the perception changes and a lot of gates open up for India as a country to get funds from outside. Correct? Abhi we know about where does India stand. We have upgraded from triple B minus to triple B. It's a huge thing. 18 साल बाद हुआ है.
Now, if you can walk us through, so we are, let's say, either the fourth largest economy, the fifth largest.
Fifth largest economy.
Assuming India, Japan. So how do they feature here in terms of the rating?
So top पे the US. We also know ballpark GDP numbers. US is at $30 trillion.
Okay.
US का rating should have been AAA, but recently it has gone थोड़ा downgrade मिल गया उनको AAA से AA plus. Because of a lot of debt. You would have heard in the recent 2-3 साल से news में US takes debt like anything. Their debt is more than 100% of the GDP.
Correct.
Right. Then the second largest economy, which is China, it is at an A plus. So China has been on a different trajectory of growth. Where India is today, maybe China was 15-20 years back, easily, like early 2000s में. So they have it here. Hopefully by the time we become like 2047, 100 years of our independence, we also reach close to that grade. But
China's GDP will be what?
China is close to $19-20 trillion.
Okay.
The US is almost 2/3. Then a distant third, fourth and fifth.
Yeah.
Third is Germany, which is close to $4.7 trillion.
Okay.
Germany is at a AAA rating as of now. And उसके बाद Japan. Japan is also at China's level at A plus.
Okay.
And here comes India, the fifth largest economy, which soon to be, I think in this financial year only, we are at around, Japan and India are close to 4.19. हाँ. So and expected है कि India grows, typically India grows at 6.5, 6.7, 6 to 7%, which will definitely make us the fourth largest in this financial year because Japan does not grow that fast. And yet we are at triple B. Not so great.
Which means we have, at least at this point of time, already clarified that rating has nothing to do with the GDP or the country's size.
Absolutely. Triple B, but there are a few countries also. Indonesia is a country which is at triple B.
Okay.
Then Brazil, which has a more per capita GDP than India. Brazil is at BB grade, which is like a junk grade.
Below investment grade.
And our friendly, very very friendly neighbor, Pakistan is around B minus.
I think B plus.
B plus or B minus. तो मतलब junk का भी junk, but let's not talk about that country. It's
Thailand is above us, which is triple B plus.
Okay, analogy which was recently given that India is a shining Mercedes and our friendly neighbor is a dumper truck. The credit rating agencies also kind of rated accordingly. Although India deserves a much higher rating, but we'll get there. Firstly, we want to understand how are these ratings decided in the first place? What are the parameters that these agencies consider?
So absolutely, and there are still a lot of people who say and who quote and claim that the rating for India, this is the position, this is the fiscal steps that we've taken, the sheer size and the growth prospects, it should be A minus in terms of the rating.
A minus, okay,
yeah.
Which is 2 levels above where we are.
2 levels above, yes.
Interesting. थोड़ा पता नहीं, we are not the experts, we are also students, as we say in every episode. But the way India has changed in the last 18 years, definitely it's one of the reasons why we also feel that upgrade should have happened at least once or twice. And in 2017, that as you can see once again in the image, Moody's and Fitch ratings, they still rate India at an equivalent grade of what triple B minus was,
Correct.
which is BAA3, right?
That's right.
BA3. And again, Fitch rating is similar only. So what we read was that S&P cites 5 key pillars in terms of determining what rating it will give. The first is institutional framework, economic prospects, external position, fiscal strength, and monetary policy credibility. Abhi, these are very hi-fi terms. We'll try to simplify them for some understanding. But basically, institutions, India is a very strong country in terms of institutions. We have some very strong frameworks. RBI does its job very well, the government, the finance ministry, each one of them does their job pretty well, and because of which we can see the outlook of Indian economy, it's very positive for the next at least 10-20 years. The very strong economic growth. Then comes the point where they are saying we do not have a very strong situation, which is fiscal strength. Fiscal क्या गांधी भाई? Government spending.
उसके पहले just coming to the first point, institutional framework. So in 2016, we launched GST and it helped boost ease of doing business. It also helped prepare that framework for the institution, because earlier it was very bureaucratic and difficult. Now it's simplified.
Correct.
IBC, insolvency and
Bankruptcy code.
bureaucracy, has also helped improve us in that particular criteria.
A lot of things keep on happening. These kind of reforms are happening, but few things are there. We have a very high debt to GDP ratio. That is actually a very true case, because India needs to borrow a lot of money to fund a lot of subsidies. We had discussed this during the income tax. Everyone is aware that that is a situation in India. But the quality of spending that we do, that is improving. The last financial year, it was like, I think this financial year we will be touching close to 11 trillion rupees. I think, 11 trillion rupees. So of capital expenditure, which is a very positive thing, because the money that government puts, it should not go in things which will not help the country grow. Like giving away freebies does not lead to a substantial improvement, but some capital expenditure, making some roads, airports, dams, that impacts. And one major thing that we feel, Gandhi bhai, is also the fact that we are not a trade surplus country. A lot of the countries which we mentioned, barring US, they have a trade surplus. So their currency also that way is very strong. They get a lot of foreign reserves. By trade surplus, I mean what matters is the foreign exchange reserves. India has been growing. Na? Kitna 670-80 billion dollars.
I think it touched 800
at the highest,
and then moved to 700. I think now it's around 600 something.
So we have it for close to 7-8 months of our import bill. We will be able to be using these foreign reserves, but because of the fact that it's always a trade imbalance, luckily we have services that take care of the trade. We have service for surplus and goods may deficit. So still the deficit is not very high, but because we import almost 80-90% for energy, like we discussed in our oil episode. So it will be a very major point for us. Like Thailand, you mentioned, is above us. I think one of the reasons is because you see a lot of foreign tourism which happens there. The few reasons we mentioned is control inflation. The RBI framework of keeping the inflation, the headline inflation at 4% plus or minus 2.
This is something which came in 2016, wherein we implemented the FIT framework, which is flexible inflation targeting
framework.
And
basically हमारी महंगाई काफी कंट्रोल में आ गई है. Whatever be the case, the lowest July number was 1.55%.
Correct. I think in 2013-14, our inflation was in double digit 10, which moved to 9%, later 5 point something, and then it's been, barring few events which is COVID and the Russia-Ukraine war, it is in the defined limit of 4 plus or minus 2.
So basically I feel, Gandhi bhai, कि India has been an overachiever in every test. However, there are few tests, जैसे class में होता है ना, you are a brilliant student, you have done well in your exams, in your practicals, class participation, small quizzes, but some parameters like your attendance, उसमें अगर आपको कम नंबर आ गए, overall पूरा score goes for a toss. Or one more thing, many times bias, I think all of us can relate. हर teacher का कोई favorite होता है, you know favoritism happens everywhere. And there is a tendency where emerging markets are not given the due that they deserve by all these agencies. That is a very sure thing, because if the number that India has, ऐसा rating तो नहीं देते यार, इसके तो 2-3 level ऊपर होना ही चाहिए था. Correct.
And यहाँ पे ना, what they do is the credit rating agencies, they give two things in general in that report card, if you ask me. One is the rating, and the second thing is the outlook. Or while the rating is the hard-coded number which tells us what is the premium to be attached to the loan given, but ये आउटलुक जो होता है इट्स लाइक अ लीडिंग इंडिकेटर, एंड आउटलुक इज बाइफर्केटेड इनटू पॉजिटिव,
Stable
स्टेबल
and negative.
और नेगेटिव.
Correct.
And positive मतलब when we say, let's say hypothetically B, if India is triple B with a positive outlook, it essentially means that there is a scope of upgrade in the rating in the next 6 to 24 months.
Correct. So we can go to a triple B plus. Thailand के level पे जा सकते हैं हम लोग.
Correct. And obviously if it's negative outlook, then
नीचे
the
जा सकते
idea is that in maybe near future it might be degraded. Stable मतलब it's not going to change for quite some time now.
So basically the thing is that what we need to ensure as individuals, if our CIBIL score is high, we get loans at a cheaper rate, house loan, car loan, anything. Similarly, this is what the way this works is कि institutions या organizations की ratings cannot be higher than the sovereign rating. That is the rule, unsaid rule, said rule क्या बोल सकते हैं कि India's suppose sovereign rating is at triple B, so all the companies which are in India, the top companies, unka rating will be benchmarked to India's rating, and because of which the companies borrowing money in international markets, that also becomes expensive. So a Chinese company, because China is at A plus, or a Japanese company which is A plus, their chance of borrowing, even though unka balance sheet wo sab relatively agar similar raha, because they are based out of China or Japan, they will get loan at a cheaper price, which is a huge thing. Correct?
तो एब्सोल्युटली. एंड यहाँ पे पता है क्या होता है, you probably heard about this model, CAPM model, capital asset pricing model, जहाँ पे हम
गांधी भाई don't get your finance का ये सब इधर, let's keep it simple.
यहाँ पे सिंपल बात है, यहाँ पे if there's a government bond which is giving a return of say 5%, as an investor I will put some premium attached to the corporate bond.
Correct.
अगर Tata Digital is now raising a bond, and the bond will have to give a premium of say 50 paisa or 2%, whatever, to ensure that for the risk, incremental risk that I'm taking, I get enough returns. Similarly, अगर sovereign rating ही BBB है, that's the max that India as a country is tagged to, which means कि अगर उसका rating BBB है, उतने में ही there's a risk attached, there's a premium attached. अभी उसकी कोई भी companies होगी, obviously बात है, they cannot be above the government, right? So with that logic, they will have to be below the BBB rating.
In fact, in many cases, I read that it's not there in India, but globally in the developed world, even in China, the provinces of China or the states in case of US, they also have their own ratings, and they also borrow. They say if say in the future, government of Maharashtra wants to raise some funds from abroad, the fact that India's rating goes up will impact the credit worthiness of a state like Maharashtra or Gujarat, and the states can fund themselves better because of such kind of upgrade. So you don't even know, it's just a headline, but the way it impacts everything around you, that is what we are trying to simplify at Glocal Gyan. Everything is connected, and it's just amazing, beautiful to understand it in whatever simplistic ways people like you and me can understand.
Absolutely. So one good example is, like we said, if you want to connect the dots, the government's plan is कि fiscal consolidation करना है. In the glide path, they are aiming for 4.4%.
4.4 this financial year में करने का target.
This financial year. अभी वो achieve करने के लिए how this upgrade is going to help is because the risk has reduced from BBB minus to BBB, which means the premium that you give has reduced. So any incremental borrowing that government takes from foreign institutions or foreign entities is going to be at a lesser premium as compared to the earlier premium. And automatically हमारा fiscal consolidation में help करने वाला है.
वो ऐसा होता है ना कि rich countries are already getting loan at a cheaper price. The way it has happened कि Gandhi, you and me get so many calls from loan कि loan ले लो every day, loan ले लो. But we don't want loans, honestly, at this point of time. There are people out there who would do wonders with that kind of a loan, the entrepreneurial spirit, but they are just not getting the loans because उनका credit score नहीं है. वैसे यहाँ पे होता है कि India needs funds to do so many things, but yet the world, the global institutions give us loan at a higher rate as compared to countries like US or China, जहाँ पे they don't need that much loans. Subsidy, road बन चुके हैं वहाँ पे, everything is there, और नए airport नहीं बन सकते उधर ज़्यादा. But a few points which are very noteworthy is, don't rely on this. Again, this is not a very fair evaluation. The world is not fair. Many times, even the credit worthiness, which has been stamped and approved by these agencies that they are a top-notch firm, the 2008 crisis is a best example for this. Lehman Brothers were rated AAA before they collapsed. AAA.
So there's something called as asset class mein they had introduced MBS, mortgage-backed security, which was again a AAA rating, which means in terms of risk, it is almost supposed to be risk-free.
Risk-free, correct. US government bond के level पे वो उन्होंने बनाया था. एक कोई अलग episode में we'll try to explain this if there is a need कि what was this 2008 crisis. But एक bias which is there in a way that the European countries or US they get leniency in terms of evaluation कि हाँ ये तो हमारा ही है, हमारे ही देश का है, तो they will be like ठीक है, इसको minimum ही इनका A+ रख देते हैं. Whereas India, China, so many other places, and I think I read it sometime a few months back that different agencies are also coming within India. Like, why should the West be the only one to judge the sovereignty, the ratings of this country? Na? There should be institutions coming out of India which do the same for US, for Europe, and come up with their own criteria. This the way the global rankings, the analogy which comes to my mind is the global university ranking. वो globe decide करता है, ठीक है. India can also decide, China can also decide the way it has also. There will be parameters. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम कुछ भी scale लेकर आ जाएंगे इंडिया को नंबर 1 पे ले जाएंगे. But we definitely are much better than what it is rated. The positive thing that we can look at it is कि we are doing so much better as compared to what we were 20 years back, 15 years back, that they are also compelled कि भाई their scale will be like मजाक बन जाएगा. ये आप इस performance को अगर ये rating दे रहे हो, then who will trust you if you are a genuine unbiased person?
So fun fact, अभी like we said 18 years back it was the same rating. Okay? In these 18 years, India's GDP has tripled, the foreign reserves have doubled. Okay, and we've had a lot of reforms. Correct. During these 18 years. Right. इसके बाद भी अगर change नहीं होता, like you're saying, it would have become a joke.
And I'm sure after this, Moody's and Fitch will also upgrade to this level. And I'm hoping that in the near future, I think 5-7 years में we reach in the A category. BBB plus के ऊपर A- से A तक तो पहुँच सकते हैं. That is the bare minimum that we can expect. But yes, this is what we have tried to understand. This is what it means. Finally, S&P has done very positive news for India. And once again, we'll get back to you with another interesting episode.
Super. We'll come up with next episodes which are equally entertaining like this. And stay tuned.